Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes. Driving through days and nights, won't stop for traffic lights. And I really wanna know if I'll ever figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high, even if the sky is falling down.
Hey there, and welcome back to Successfully Chaotic, where we embrace the chaos of business, life, and everything in between. I'm your host, Maria Daniels, and today's episode is for the ones who've spent too much time waiting for permission to be themselves, permission to chase their dreams, permission to stop explaining why they do what they do. Because here's the truth. No one is coming to give you permission. And the moment that you realize that, something shifts. You stop waiting. You start doing, and that is where the magic happens. So today we're talking about the freedom that comes when you stop asking for permission to live your life authentically. Because why wait for approval when it holds you back? And why wait to step into your power? And what do you think is going to happen when you start leading your own life instead of seeking validation? So go ahead and grab your coffee, your tea, or whatever keeps you going, because we're about to dive into this. All right. First of all, let's be real. Most of us were raised to be good girls or team players, right? And we're taught to play by the rules, to not take up too much space, to make sure we're likable. And for years, I did just that. I asked for permission without even realizing it. I waited for other people to validate my ideas before I felt confident enough to even pursue them. I let the opinion of others really dictate my next move. I shrank myself down thinking that I had to earn my place at the table. I looked around at all the other people who are doing these amazing things, and it looked like they just walked on clouds of awesomeness, when I was tumbling down a hill and bursting into flames and clawing myself up the other side. All of this waiting to be like everybody else, all of this waiting to belong, it got me nowhere. Because here's the thing, when you wait for permission to be yourself, to live authentically, to embrace all of your scars and flaws and the way that you think differently than other people, you are handing over control of your life to people who are not living your life. You are letting people who don't know your vision, who don't live your life, who don't know your fire, who don't know your goals, tell you what is realistic. And you know what happens? They project their own fears into you. Are you sure that you really want to start that business? Oh gosh, it's really risky. I don't know. Maybe you should wait when the timing or the economy is better. What if people don't take you seriously? Are you sure you want to do that? All of a sudden, you hear these things and you're stuck. Not because you don't have what it takes, but because you have let someone else's doubts become your own. But here's a truth bomb for you. You do not need anyone's approval to live your life. So how do you start actually waiting or stop waiting, I guess I should say. So how do you actually stop waiting and start taking action? One of the biggest shifts that I made in my own life was deciding to stop over explaining. Now, trust me, I'm an ADHD gal that likes to word vomit, dump all kinds of oversharing. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about justifying why I'm doing what I'm doing, justifying why I think the way I think. And so one of the biggest shifts that I made in my life was to stop over explaining why I think the way I do, because you do not have to explain why you're starting a business. You do not have to justify why you're deciding to do anything that you're deciding to do. You don't have to ask permission to pivot, to grow, to evolve, to stop. You do not have to explain yourself. If someone doesn't understand, it's okay. It is not their journey. There's nothing wrong with seeking guidance and like I have people that I consider, gurus that I have, ran something by. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about those people that are doing their own thing, that wants to come in with their little judgments, or maybe they're doing their own thing, but it's not the exact same thing you do. And you get those little side comments. I know you know what I'm talking about. And if you close your eyes right now, you're probably thinking of somebody in your mind right now that has done that. And it made you feel, super small, made you question, why am I doing this? It made maybe cry. I mean, there's been times where I've cried about stuff people have said, but you know what? The truth is that stepping into your own power feels weird at first. It does, because when you stop seeking the validation and you start making the decisions, some people's not going to like it. And you're still going to have that little voice every once in a while that goes, yeah, but what if? But you learn to shut that little voice up. But it feels weird at first. It feels awkward at first. But here's what I've learned. Discomfort is part of the growth. Every time that you choose yourself, every time you stop waiting and start moving, you get stronger. So instead of avoiding discomfort, lean into it and get used to it, because that's where breakthroughs start to happen. You don't need someone else to give you the green light, but you do need people who inspire you to keep going. So, I mentioned those people that I like to reach out to seek guidance. Surround yourself with those people, the expanders, the people who show you what's possible, the people that say, yeah, it really freaking sucks sometimes, but guess what? You can do it anyway. Like think about maybe, I have somebody I know that literally built her dream from nothingness, absolutely nothingness. And if you knew her story, it's super inspiring. Or maybe you have a friend who just lives her whole life unapologetically. I've got some people like that too. And I'm just like in awe. Or maybe it's a mentor that challenges you to think bigger, that maybe they even tell you, no, you're thinking too small. You can do more. Those are the people that you need around you, the people who remind you that you don't need permission. You just need the courage to start. So what actually happens when you stop waiting for approval? Everything happens. You start making bold moves. You trust yourself more. You stop wasting energy on people who are never going to get it. You build the business or the life or the freedom that you've always wanted. And let me tell you, there is nothing more powerful than a woman who knows her worth and goes after what she wants. So if you're still waiting for the sign, this is it. I think that the universe sends us signs all the time. And if you're listening to this podcast, like take that as a sign. Just stop. Just try to push out all the naysayers. Try to push out all your own negative thoughts on things. It's okay to be scared. It's okay that today you tried your best and you fell on your face and you just clawed yourself up the other side, because you came up the other side and you're bruised and you're dirty and you're possibly crying and you want to quit because it's so hard. But you've got this. And you do not need anybody's permission, and don't compare yourself to anybody's glossed up story, because I'm going to tell you the truth here. It is freaking tough out there, but you are tougher. I want you to do something today. Stop asking for permission. Post that thing. Who cares if you're cringe? I don't care. Be cringe. Oh my gosh, send it to me. I will love all your cringe. Launch that business. Maybe you don't 100% know how it's going to end, but if you don't try, you are going to spend the rest of your life wondering why you didn't start. Set that boundary. Those people who are pulling you down, lay those boundaries out, because you don't need their permission. I don't care who it is. And it may hurt, because we say set those boundaries like it's super easy, but sometimes it's the hardest thing you will ever do, but it's so worth it. And take that leap. Jump out and just try. you may get hurt. You may fall on your face. I mean, honestly, if you're just starting out, you probably will. I mean, I'm going to be that person that tells you I've fallen on my face more times than I can count. And I'm stubborn enough that I get up and go, well, that sucked. And I keep going. Because at the end of the day, you only get one life. And the only permission that you need to do anything is your own. If this episode resonated at all with you, I really encourage you to share it with a friend. We're going to be talking just about this very topic, and I'm going to be having on some amazing guests talking about this, some amazing people who are living their own lives unapologetically. And let's keep this conversation going. Make sure you follow on TikTok or Instagram, and, share that cringe stuff that you're afraid to post with me. I love all the things cringe. And don't forget that Successfully Chaotic is about embracing all the messy, unfiltered, beautiful chaos of life and business. So go out there and just live your life on your own terms. All right. Until next time, keep choosing yourself and keep being unapologetically you.